Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? Yes. Taking thought beyond what it has ever been, coming to new awarenesses, chewing over the aspects of life and understanding them more fully, taking control of your own life experience because you understand the laws of the universe, why things happen the way they do, not just to you but to everyone else, having a real roadmap of how to proceed from one place to another, remembering who you are, realizing the depth and breadth of your worthiness, understanding how source energy is focused on you all the time, knowing where you stand right now, whatever you're doing, whatever you're experiencing, in relationship with who you really are and what you really want, taking all of that into consideration and flooding to you a steady stream, which sometimes you hear better than others. Sometimes you're more in the receptive mode, sometimes you're less in the receptive mode. So sometimes your life is more fantastic, sometimes it's more what you would call smooth, not slow, but more smooth, more understanding. And sometimes you have a little bit of a rough ride. It just depends on what you're doing vibrationally. But no matter what you're doing vibrationally, the source within you, your inner being, who you really are, is standing in clarity and love and complete knowledge and profound purpose. And in that secure, loving stance of well-being, you have something that once you learn how to reach for and find, you will always also stand in confidence and clarity and love and well-being. And that really is what we like to talk about most. We've been calling this gathering for many years, is the art of allowing. And what we mean by that is the art of allowing your connection. It's you discovering, you learning, you practicing, you becoming a master at the art of being in the receptive mode so that you can receive the wisdom and the knowledge that Source has. And we don't want you to think that it's knowledge and wisdom about things unrelated to you. It's knowledge and wisdom about things precisely, specifically relating to you, about things that matter to you. Your inner being is so happy that you are an extension of Source, and your inner being benefits by your leading edge exposure to life. Even when you're standing in contrast, even when you're standing in a place of not knowing what to do, even when you're standing in a place of defiance or defense or blame or guilt, even when you're standing in any of those places, your inner being stands with you, knowing your value, knowing your purpose, and knowing how to guide you, if you will, from where you are to where you want to be. Your inner being understands what your path of least resistance is. And hear what we mean by that, because if you want something and you're not living it, your inner being knows how to help you help yourself get to where you need to be in order to have what you want to have. Your inner being knows the path of least resistance, and the resistance you've put on your path. That's interesting. Your inner being isn't guiding you through the trials and tribulations of life that others have put roadblocks up for you, because there isn't any of that happening. Feels like it sometimes though, doesn't it? Your inner being is guiding you over and under and around and through the path of least resistance that you have put the resistance on your path. And so we talked yesterday, and Esther just mused about it and reveled in it all night long, because we said something in a different way than she had heard us say before. We said your inner being will lead you to something, and if you're too blocked off to hear it, then your inner being will lead you to something that will lead you to that. But if you're too blocked off for that, then your inner being will lead you to something that will lead you to something that will lead you to something. But if you're too blocked off for that, then your inner being will lead you to something that leads you to something that leads you to something that leads you to something. And that's why sometimes you lose the trail. Not the trail of getting to where you want to be, but the trail of understanding that you have been led, that you have had guidance. That's the only explanation that any of you could possibly offer about why you don't know with every fiber of your physical being how loved you are, how known you are, how in awareness you are. So that's what we would like to lull you back into an awareness today. We want you to feel your connection with Source, a connection that Source always has with you, but you don't always have with Source. Sometimes you're just so ornery, you don't let it in. And sometimes you feel like you have really good reason to feel the way you do. We don't argue with you about that. Esther will say, Abraham, clearly you need more information about this situation. Because if you knew what I know, you'd feel like I feel. And we say, yeah, we would, but we don't go there. We don't want to feel like you're feeling. We don't want to disconnect ourselves from the source of clarity and love and well-being. We stand in knowledge of well-being, and you can do whatever you want, and there's no judgment or no blame about you doing stupid. Oh. It's not that way at all. We have understanding about why you're where you are. That's why we offer endlessly guidance. But you got to be in the receptive mode before you can hear it. And so that's what we want to talk with you about today. How you can be in the receptive mode of something that you want when you are living the absence of it. And the reason that that's difficult for most of you is because you've got your focus set on what is. You're intoxicated with what is manifestations. So if you want something or someone, and it's not in your experience right now, and you focus in pain on the absence of this that you want, you're not in the receptive mode of what you want. And most humans say sort of logically, well, Abraham, you know, if you would just give us what we want, then we wouldn't be focused on the absence of it, would we? And we say, but you see, you've got to practice the vibration of something before it can become a reality. And that's a process, isn't it? It's a process that you understood so well when you came into your physical body. You knew that you would come into an environment of vast contrast, and you liked that because you knew by exploring and examining the contrast of your life experience that you would come to personal conclusions and decisions about what you want. And so as you come to those personal conclusions and decisions, sometimes you don't even know you're doing it. When you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. So you are emanating these vibrational requests. Now, sometimes when we say you're vibrating or you're offering vibrational requests, you don't understand that because you don't understand that you are vibrational. You don't understand often. So many people don't know this, that what they see is a translation of vibration. It's energy translated through your physical eyes into the realization that you have. Your nose, your fingertips, everything about your physical senses are you translating vibration. So once you accept that you are a vibrational being in a vibrational universe, and you accept that you are emitting vibrations even without words sometimes, and that every one of those requests of something that you believe would make your life better is received in this vortex, in this vibrational reality. We gave it the name vortex because we wanted you to feel the realness of it. We wanted you to find a way to feel the realness of what you're creating before it manifests. Because if you need it to manifest before you believe it, it can't manifest. You have to believe it before it can be translated fully into all that you experience with your physical senses. So you have to find a way. In religious terms, you call it faith or trust. We want to say, if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would tune ourselves to an awareness of this vibrational reality. We would come to understand that our emotions are letting us know Whether we are in this moment with this thought, with this word, with this action, moving toward wanted or unwanted. That's really what we want you to know.